I'm pleased to have our Chief Financial Officer here with us today, Mr. Michael Finn. Mr. Finn, thank you for being here.
It's good to be here.
I want to start by asking you about the bond initiative that's coming up. We'll see that on the ballot this November. Can you share with me really just the basics? What is a bond?
Sure, absolutely. A bond is really a voter-authorized loan to the district to make capital improvements. We go out, we ask for the authorization, and as we need those monies, we sell them through bonds and take those monies and make capital improvements. So it's really just a loan to the district to make capital improvements.
And can you share with me specifically, should this measure pass in November, what will those funds be going towards?
There's three primary areas that we're identifying in the voter pamphlet for those monies to be used for: technology, pupil transportation, and the vast majority of that is going back towards our existing campuses to make capital improvements on those campuses.
And coming up with where those monies would be allocated, I understand that really was a well thought out process. There was in fact a facility conditions audit that was conducted. Can you share a little bit of information about that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. We actually secured an outside entity to come in and do an evaluation of the entire district, all of our facilities, to let us know what we would be looking at over the next 10 years for capital improvement needs for our district. Since we have not received any monies from the School Facilities Board in the past 4 years, we need to get those monies to actually keep our schools in good repair. So they came in, they did a very extensive study. They identified over $270 million worth of capital improvements over the next 10 years that would need to be done. We recognize that that is a lot of money for our taxpayers.
Sure.
We tried to prioritize the best that we possibly could. Again, about little over $100 million of the 180 is going to go back towards that. But we took it one step forward, and we actually sat with our principals and our site councils at all of our schools, got their input on what was most important aspects that they wanted looked at with the bond monies at their locations, put that together and came up with, in my mind, a very well thought out plan of what we're going to focus on at each individual site with those monies.
There may be many voters in our community who remember just 2 years ago seeing a maintenance and operations override initiative on the ballot. Can you share a little bit about really what is the difference between an override and a bond, or between what they saw a couple years ago and what they can expect now?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, I'd like to thank the community for supporting us on that override 2 years ago. The override is, it gives us the opportunity to extend our resources by 10%. So it gives us 10% more money in our budget to spend on maintenance and operations, and about 90% of all of the maintenance and operations dollars goes towards salaries and benefits. So those monies are totally separate from a bond. Bond are for capital improvements. The M&O override was for maintenance and operations. We cannot commingle the monies. Bond monies can never be used to support the maintenance and operations. So they're very separate items.
So very important that our community understands that and understands the difference between those two. I want to ask you also, what can our taxpayers expect to see in the way of an impact on their taxes should this measure pass this November? It's
a great question. The average home value in the city of Peoria is approximately $120,000 full cash value. Taxes can be somewhat complicated, so I'll make it as simple as I can. Based on a full cash value of $120,000, which again is the average in Peoria, the average homeowner would pay $76.80 per year for this $180 million bond.
Okay, so very important detail there that we want to make sure that they know. We have a lot more information on the bond, on our budget, available on the district website. Mr. Finn, I want to thank you for being here and thank you for sharing that insight and information to our community. If there are any additional questions, we welcome you to contact our finance office. That phone number is 623-486-6011. We also have additional information available on the district website. That's peoriaud.k12.az.us.